All right, another way we can represent our data is in a two-way table. So remember, a two-way frequency table, the sides are going to tell you the categories that we're breaking them down. So in this case, we've got a student's gender, and the other side is talking about the favorite superpower that they selected. The numbers in each box represent the number of students in each category that chose the superpower. We have to remember that the shaded cells are your marginal frequencies. They're located around the margins of the table and represent the totals of the rows and columns. The non-shaded cells within the table are called your joint frequencies. Each joint frequency cell is the count of responses from the two categorical variables, so by gender and the superpower, and it's the intersection of the row and the column. We also remember with those marginal frequencies right here in that right-hand corner, it's telling you the total number of people that responded to that survey. So with that in mind, let's see if we can answer some questions using the two-way table. So they want to know how many male students selected invisibility as their favorite superpower. So if I go to the males and I pick invisibility, there are 4 in that category. All right, the next one says how many female students selected to fly. So females to fly, that would be 3. How many students total chose to have telepathy? Well, telepathy is my category here. I want the total, so that would be 9. How many females were surveyed? So females, I want the total of everyone that was asked. That would be 26. And how many total students were surveyed? Well, again, when we look at all the totals for the categories and the genders, that would be 48. Still using the same two-way table, let's figure out some probabilities. So here we want to know what % of students chose freeze time, as their favorite superpower. So it says of students, we know there are 48 students total. How many total selected freeze time? Well, there were 7. So we're going to do 7 divided by 48 times 100, and that's going to give us our percentage. So the exact percentage is 14.583 repeating. If they asked you around to the nearest tenth, that would be 14.6. What % of the students are male? So again, out of 48 students, there are 22 males. So 22 out of 48 times 100, that gives you an exact percentage of 45.83 repeating. If you go to the tenths, it would be 45.8. All right, continuing on. What percentage of the females chose to fly as their favorite superpower? Now notice how this is different. They're changing it. Not all the students, just the females. So we have 26 females. How many chose to fly? Only 3. So 3 out of 26 times 100, that's 11.5%, rounding to the nearest tenth. What % of the people that chose invisibility are male? Again, we're restricting our total. Invisibility, there were 15 people that selected it. How many males did they have? 4. So 4 out of 15 times 100, well, that's 26.6 repeating. If you're going to the 10th, 26.7%. All right, we've got a couple more here. What % of the males chose telepathy? Well, we have 22 males. How many chose telepathy? 2. So 2 out of 22 times 100. There's our exact value, 9.09 repeating. Going to the 10th, that would be 9.1%. What % of the people that chose freeze time are female? Well, let's see, freeze time, there were 7 individuals. How many were female? 0. So that would be 0% of the time. Let's switch it up and go to some ice cream flavor data, again broken down by gender. We'll have you pause the video and try answering your questions based on this data set, and then we'll resume to check. All right, what % of students chose chocolate ice cream? So students, 48. Chocolate, 7. 7 out of 48 times 100. Here's your exact percentage, 14.583 repeating. If they ask for the nearest tenth, 14.6%. Number 2, what percent of them are female? Out of the 48 students, we've got 26 that are females. That's exactly 54.16 repeating percent. If you're going to the nearest tenth, that would be 54.2%. All right, we're looking for the percentage of females who chose cookie dough. So let's see, females, we're talking about 26 individuals, 7 of them chose cookie dough. That's exactly 26.92 repeating percent. Again, going to nearest tenth, 26.9. Then we're looking for the percent of people that chose chocolate being male. So those that chose chocolate, there are 7. 2 of them were male. So that is approximately 28.6%. What percent of the males chose other? Well, we're talking about 22 males. 2 of them selected other. That's exactly 9.09 repeating percent, or to the nearest tenth, 9.1. Number 6, what percent of the people chose vanilla are female? Well, my vanilla selection was 13 individuals. 7 of them are female, so we've got 53.8% approximately. So when we're looking at the table, we want to look and make sure we're paying attention to how the directions are worded to see what the total individuals that we're working with and how many fit that description. Now, not always are the tables given to us. We might have to fill them in. So here in example 4, these are our givens. We're going to give you a minute to fill in the table and then work on the percentages for C through H. So we have 100 randomly selected students. Of the 60 female students selected, 20 of them played soccer, 10 were in student council, and 10 were in jazz band. The rest of them did not participate in the after-school program. Of the male students, 10 did not participate in the after-school program. 20 played soccer, 8 played in the jazz band, and the rest were in student council. So again, let's give you a minute to complete your table, and then we're going to check so that we can calculate the percentages for C through H. All right, the category that's missing is the did not participate. We also know the 100 randomly selected students are going to go here. 60 female students, that's another total. We're going to put that here. So if we've got 160, that means there's 40 male students. And then we're just going to fill in the ones that we know and subtract based on the givens to fill in the missing pieces. So this is what our completed table should look like. With that in mind, let's start answering some questions about the percentages. So it says, what percent of the people surveyed are female? Well, there's 100 individuals, 60 were female. That ends up being 60%. What percentage of the people surveyed play soccer? Well, out of the 100 people surveyed, we have 40 that played soccer, so that would be 40%. What percentage of females are in student council? So again, we're restricting, what we're talking about is 60 individuals. There are 10 in student council. That ends up being 16.6 repeated percent. If you're going there as 10th, 16.7. What percentage of males are in jazz band? So again, restricting it to 40 individuals. 8 are in jazz band, so that gives you 20%. What percentage of people who play soccer are female? Well, 40 individuals play soccer, 20 of them are female, so that's 50%. What percentage of people who do not participate are male? Well, we have 30 people who don't participate, 10 of them were male. That's 33.3 repeating percent. Again, rounding nearest 10th, 33.3. So now that we've gone through our lesson on our two-way tables, whether they're given to us or we need to fill them in and calculate the percentages, it's going to be your turn to practice the next time we see each other.